If you guys remember a while back, I submitted my second ever written piece on a game called Gone Home. If I recall correctly, I promised a video version of it as soon as I could get around to it. That was a long time ago, I think almost a year now. But I'm finally getting to it because I'm out of other stuff to post. This is something that's been in the back of my mind for quite a while, but I'm just now getting to. I got pretty excited because making this video means playing the game again to refresh my mind on rewriting the review, but most of all, it means playing the game again, which is exciting. Gone Home doesn't have a huge replayability factor. In fact, you can uncover just about everything in the game in just a mere few hours, but between live streams and YouTube content and just playing through it a bunch of times, I must have played through Gone Home at least 7 times within a month of buying it. But every time I reach the end, I get the same fuzzy feeling inside as I did playing it the very first time on my own. So let's get right into it. I'm not going to be showing menus and stuff in the next few videos because that's unnecessary editing and recording. You guys know what a menu screen looks like and what options it has within. One thing I want to, however, is the absence of 1920 by 1080p resolution, which is the resolution of each monitor that I'm using right now. Or both monitors separately are 1920 by 1080. Like, both of them together don't make 1920 by 1080. That'd just be a step back from where I was. But it was fine. I managed to play it in 1280 by 720 and still get decent enough quality video footage. I personally don't care about how bad it looks for me. I'll play a game in a tiny little window if it means good quality footage. So onwards, in Gone Home, you play as the eldest daughter of the Greenbrier family who just arrived home from studying abroad. You find that your family home is empty with no one inside. Apparently, your younger sister Sam is supposed to be there, but isn't. This leaves you with the entire house to explore and wander through. Obviously, what else would it mean? Psh. One of the things I like now that initially freaked me out at first is the atmosphere of the game. It feels like a horror game. Dark, rainy night, empty house, first person perspective, but surprisingly enough, nothing ever pops out, though the thunder and house creaking is quite startling. But there are a few things that kind of trick you. I won't say where and what they are, but just know that nothing actually scary happens unless you're afraid of hair dye. It essentially is just a walking simulator, but if you ignore that, the story is pretty interesting. There is one main storyline the game follows, and that is of your younger sister Sam. It outlines her plights through beginning high school to finding love at an early age, or at the very least the illusion of love at an early age. So you basically find all this stuff through a series of journal entries that unlock by going into certain rooms or interacting with certain things. These journal entries are narrated beautifully, I might add. You could, in theory, finish the game in as little as 30 seconds just by going into the right rooms. There's no order in which you have to do things, which is probably what makes the game so interesting. You're allowed to not only do things at your own pace, but also pretty much however you'd like. It's really immersive and makes you feel like you're really invading your family's privacy, which is always fun. You also find out little tidbits about your parents and father's uncle who left him the house in his will, but their bits seem a bit, like, I guess, rushed, empty. There's not really like an end, I guess. It's not really like a proper story. It's just kind of like stuff you would find if you're rummaging through your house. I wish they would have added in some more stuff in that regard. It'd be cool to follow the rest of the family storylines. Obviously, not to the extent of Sam's, but at least in a way that offers some more information and even closure. Just to make the game a little longer, and maybe give a little more reason and incentive to play through it multiple times, or all the way through, depending on what you want to do. I think the developers addressed this at some point, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, would have enjoyed and appreciated a little more there. It's no big deal though. The game is mostly revolved around Sam, so I guess it really doesn't matter. That was just kind of to make it, I guess, longer than, yeah, whatever. On to graphics and whatnot. They were nice. Let me expand on that. It looked like a horror game. They successfully made it look like a horror game where nothing scary happens. The textures are nice and everything's modeled as beautifully as a team as small as Fulbrights could do. They were actually so much nicer than that even. That just makes it sound like crappy in comparison to other things, when objectively speaking, They are crappier in comparison to, say, whatever AAA titles are hot right now, but nicer than like 90% of the indie games I've played so far. The artwork was nice. There's little things scattered about like photographs and paintings and postcards that you come across that were just amazingly drawn and made. I really liked it. The sound is great. Music is fitting as it normally is in games that cost more than $10. Sound effect was a little choppy for me, but that could just be my headphones. Voice acting was superb. They chose a wonderful voice actor to narrate the journal entries and whatnot. All the right emotions were showing at all the right times. It was like the voice acting in Life is Strange, which has been or already has a video on the site. One thing I do have a complaint about the sound though is like you find I think 1 or 2 tapes laying around, and you could play them in tape players, whatever they were called in 1995, and they sound a little bit too good to be both from tapes and playing off of a stereo that you're hearing through your speakers or headphone. That should have sounded a little bit worse, but whatever, no big deal. That's pretty much it. I'd like to go ahead and recommend this to anyone ever. It's a great game for people who like interactive stories or walking simulators, and even kids since there's minimal swearing, but a few bits that could be considered bad for anyone under 10, or if you look at it this way, a kid whose parents are comparable to prison guards and other things I'm not allowed to compare them to in this video for professional reasons. But yeah, that's it. So my name's Anthony from StevePress.com. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this content, I make other content elsewhere, link in the description and all that. And I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.